All right, we'll go ahead and get started. I was going to give some people some time to jump in, hop in, everybody say hi. Welcome, welcome, one and all. My name is Tyler, aka Springland Gaming. I am honestly kind of shocked that we've made it this far. This is going to be the celebration stream, the Galaxy 1 is complete stream. We're going to chill out. I've just got the game open for some background. Maybe we'll hop in some levels. Maybe we'll go to the crash site, look at some bots. Primarily, the goal is we're going to reveal the results of the audience ranked bracket. We are going to rank each of the games on a tier list, both by their platinums, how are their platinums, and how were the games themselves. I'll have one at the best, one at the worst for both, both versions. And then we will, as each galaxy goes, we'll just keep adding them to that same tier list, and we'll just constantly keep it updated. I've been good, Penguin. How you been, buddy? I have been good. Dude, as soon as my face finally popped in, 2 people dipped. They were like, oh, never mind. Just kidding. I kind of wanted to give it a second, let everybody catch up, get in here if they want to, but honestly, that's fine. That's what the VOD is for. This is a live stream for a reason. So without much further ado, let's go around, let's go see our bots. Let's go talk about stuff. This one right here, I think this is Kuro, I want to say, from Doku Demo Ishio. This is the one that I, a little too quickly, jumped on the bandwagon of like, oh, there's no game to platinum this. I don't think there's going to be anything that we can do. I found out after the fact. Let me not knock all my stuff over. Let's see. Kuro from Doku Demo Issue. I think that's... Oh, I'm sorry. The Kuro is the black cat. Who's the white cat? Who is the white? Toro Inoue. That's who it is. Toro Inoue. Let's see. You'll be honest, you doubt you'll watch the entire stream due to it being 11:30 p.m. here in England. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to start so late for you. I didn't know what the best time to do it would be. So as I found out, and I think I've mentioned this in a couple of other streams, there were other options, apparently. Let's see. Appearances in other media. No, yeah, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, so Street Fighter X Tekken. I mean, obviously, like, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, that's got a dead platinum, but Street Fighter X Tekken, that's the one that will probably, when the black cat comes up in Galaxy 3, I'll probably play Street Fighter X Tekken. That will wrap up both of those cats and the Tekken characters. Astrobot's knocked the fuck out. He's like, dude, get a move on. You are not late. I literally just started. I had like 5 minutes at the beginning. I was just, I wasn't on screen. I was just running through a level in Galaxy 1. I was trying to give it some time for everybody to show up. Let's get our bots from Astro's Playroom out of here. Thank you for the help, Toro Inoue. We're waiting on one other person. That's fine. Yay! I'm sorry to hear that, Pig, but I'm glad there's good days, though, right? As long as there's always good days mixed in. We'll walk around and get our bots that we would have gotten from Astro's Playroom from the DLC. Oh, we're very familiar with this little punk now. Thank you, baseball player. Thank you, Parappa. How would you guys like to start? Do we want to start with the debut of the bracket, the audience voted bracket, or do we want to jump straight into ranking the tier list based on platinum and based on enjoyment of the game? Do I know when the platinum for Ape Escape will come out? I'm in the beginning process of it right now, where I'm like watching back over my stream. But I'm like most of the way through the finale part. Oh, Ratchet and Rivet. What a helpful little pair. So as soon as I finish with that, I will write the script. There's not going to be that much to that video. Metal Gear Solid was obviously a much bigger undertaking of a video. And I also had a week-long vacation mixed in there. So Parappa 2's #1, so there's not a point to rank. Damn, no. Way to spoil the entire stream, dude. Ape Escape will not take anywhere near as long. I suspect Ape Escape will be out within the next week to a week and a half. And that is my hopeful estimation. Come on! Free him! Free him! Get him out! There we go. Alright, there's our 4 bots that we unlocked from Astro's Playroom. So, I guess kind of the way I want to do this... Let's turn the game volume down a little bit while we're not in it. I haven't really sat to think about, especially when it comes to all the different Ratchet & Clanks, I haven't really sat to think about which ones I like better than others. So what I'm probably gonna do is we'll pull up PSN profiles, we'll look at the trophy list, we will maybe pull up my video, like watch clips of the videos. Let's see. Trophy log, maybe? Not sure what the best way to go about this is. There we go. All right. Do you guys want to start with one of the tier lists first, or do you want to start with the bracket? Which, if you've been following along with the votes every day, you obviously know how the bracket went, right? What would you prefer? Let's look over the Ratchet and Clank trophies while we're letting you guys pick. A lot of these early Ratchet and Clank games were just very, get this skill point, get that skill point, get all skill points. It's not really that interesting from a trophy perspective. Tier list, Noam? Okay. Do you want to start with, well, I guess we'll go through one game at a time for each. So, which one do we have first? This is the Platinum. The game as a Platinum. I have no ad blockers. I have no premium accounts for anything that blocks ads, so I apologize. We're just going to be getting hit with ads. I've got the, this is how we enjoyed it as a game. And this is how we like it as a Platinum. So let's kind of look through the trophy list here. It was very like, yeah, do this tier, or do this skill point, do that skill point. Penalty cards with only the wrench. Also the plot, right? Let's see. So Ratchet 1, where it all started. Chairman Drek, I enjoyed Chairman Drek. He was a very funny villain. Wanting to make his whole hybrid planet of all these other planets that were rich in resources that was in turn killing those planets. That was a fun plot. I don't love Ratchet's personality in Ratchet 1. He and Clank are very, you know, they butt heads a lot. I didn't love that. The whole, I feel like the first third or so of the game was just about getting to Captain. It was, the planets were very non sequitur-esque, right? It was just get to Captain Quark, and then as soon as you get to him, shocker, he's on Drek's side. Like, that's the first impression of Captain Quark, is that he's lazy and he's evil. I mean, Ratchet and Clank 1 did have the hoverboard incident where I crashed out. Oh yeah, how could I forget? How could I forget? Let's see. You guys will have to let me know how the volume is. I have no idea how loud this is about to be.
It's a Friday in the process.
Let's see.
Some of
Yeah, we're
you
talking
will
about
die,
Chairman
and that's a
Drek.
sacrifice that I'm willing to make.
Yeah, I can hear
Clank,
with a
no
different.
time for
I've been
nonsense,
trying to
promptly
edit my mic
skedaddles and
quality
crash
in
lands on
every
Belden, where he meets
between every
Ratchet,
game,
a
and I
wombat
end up liking it for
mechanic
one
who
stream and
just
then
wants to
hating
explore
it.
the stars.
I can hear how
Clank
tinny it
requests Ratchet's
sounds
help finding Captain,
very early on, like in the
essentially giving
streams.
me a higher jump.
This was also before I was using a filter to save the video file, save the webcam file, so it was just, I was downloading my compressed streams off of YouTube. Also the million bolts, shit, no, yeah, good point. I was downloading my compressed streams off of the channel and then just throwing the clips directly in there. So you were seeing all the chat logs. This is back when I had my bootleg chat log. You were seeing just the, every time I would try to zoom in on my face for something or another, it would just get very pixelated, very compressed looking. How early, here's the hoverboard
controls
saga.
were going to be a problem, and in 5 seconds, 204. So we had a 31-second improvement. That's really good. If we have another 31-second improvement, we got the trophy.
I would have been able to have a
was I
lot more
mistaken.
fun
Desperation,
now versus the way I did then with the camera file being a separate video. What are my thoughts on PlayStation ending fiscal 2? I hate it. I hate it. That is such a bullshit way, because we've already seen, literally within the same week they made that announcement, they were like, oh, hey, by the way, if you have these hundreds of movies from this particular movie provider and you paid for them, just kidding, you no longer have them. Physical licenses is not properly owning games. That's not properly owning equipment. And what's worse is that they're still going to put out boxes. So if you want to have a shelf, like I have a shelf on the back, if you want to have a shelf, they're going to put out boxes. The boxes have a digital code on the inside. So you're wasting space for what? And like game download sizes are already bad now. How bad are they going to get? I think it's a horrible idea. It's really stupid and it makes me very angry, because I am one, like I'm definitely a PlayStation gamer, much more than an Xbox gamer now. I have been for the last 10 years. Fuck, dude. Like, why? Like, you picked on Xbox when they were trying to do that for the Xbox One. You know, when everybody was so mad at Xbox when the Xbox One was coming out, PlayStation released a commercial picking on them for doing that. They were like, this is how you share games on PlayStation. And it was a guy passing another guy a game. That was good. And now they've become the evil that they once poked fun at.
So lock the in. I feel like, look, I'm in first place and hit a 34-second lap.
Seriously.
I feel like I hit maximum fucking speed.
And Noam, yeah. Every company kind of sucks right now.
Nth dimension. I went past fucking Plaid.
This edit right here.
And it was still 34 seconds.
Right, that I'm about to do. This one, this took so long. I was trying to figure out how masks work. I was just moving around. Like, that dumb little clip that's so stupid and looks so shitty took me, I don't even want to know how long, like hours to do. So let's look more at the trophy list. Yeah, skill point, traverse the water region without losing any health on Veldum's orbital station. I remember that one being kind of a pain. All a bunch of skill point based. This one was interesting. Just obtain the suck cannon was a trophy. I don't know why. This was not terrible. Yeah, it's stuff like this. Obtain the persuader, obtain the suck cannon, but not a lot of big story moments. Obtain the magna boots. It was mostly just skill points, which you would already have to do anyways for the skillful trophy. I'm looking for any other... Okay, defeat Captain Quark's ship. The bolt collector. In this game, that was a pain in the ass. Like, if you do that properly, it's supposed to take you 4 or 5 playthroughs at minimum. The glitch that I did, which is the very well known one that everybody does.
Oh yeah, that.
Let's see. And the fact that it screwed up the first time because the box placement was just really bad.
As Zach Braff
Where do I
said
talk
in
about
the
it?
Disney Channel film minutes they were hidden on. Some of them, oh my god, Bolt Trophy missing all 10 netted me the ratchet.
I don't even know where it is, to be honest with you. But I was talking about how I rubber banded my controller doing the glitch for 11 hours
Before reaching
and
the 400,000
it gave me
range.
350,000 give or take.
I decided.
So I had to replay through the entire game up to that point that you get all of those gadgets that you need just to redo it. I feel like I'm missing chat here. You did hear the Ratchet and Clank is more painful to do on PS Vita as the Twisty McMarks is a lot harder. I've heard that as well. It's just a lot harder to pull off because that's a bunch of triggers, right? It's triggers and rotating, and just the way that the PS Vita is set up, way harder to do. Yeah, having to touch the back of the PS Vita. Seems like everyone forgot about the terrible Switch tier release. I mean, what do you mean other than them raising their prices for the games? All right, I gotta put some stuff here. As a platinum, kind of boring. It's just skill points, a couple of story objectives, and the million bolt grind, which is god awful. So for the moment, I'm just gonna throw it in a very safe B tier. And that might drop down to C, but I don't see it going any higher than B tier. Like taking away all of your consumer rights. I don't even know if I know what you're talking about, referring to the Switch 2. As a game, though, the first Ratchet and Clank means a lot to me because it was the start of my channel, the introduction to several of my chat members that I got to... Fucking spoiler alert. What am I looking for here? Over here. Spoiler alert. Several chat members. I want to see weapons though, because with weapon leveling not being a thing in the first Ratchet and Clank, it was like you bought whatever weapon seemed the best and then you just went for it. Sometimes it was a skill point for a specific weapon. I guess equipment. They can just break your console and a bunch of scummy stuff. What the hell? What the hell? People don't like the Clank gameplay sections. I kind of enjoy them. Weapons. Let's go over the weapons. Is there a weapon list? $60 weapons had been designed for the game. Jesus. So this was dialed back as the team discovered that weapons needed a strategic use for players to engage with them. Yeah, man. All right, so is there no just like list of weapons? Separate page on the wiki. Let's get a reminder of some of these weapons. The Rhino, the first time I experienced the Rhino, dude, incredible. The Glove of Doom, I think that was the little Doom bots. That definitely made its return. Blaster, Bomb Glove. The Morph Array, I didn't really care much one way or the other about the morph array. I literally only used it for, I think, that one part where you have to turn a tank into a chicken. The Pyrocitor was very cool early on. I don't feel like I used it very much after the beginning. Decoy Glove, stupid. Never used it. Only used it for skill points that required it, and the Bolt Glitch. So it gets points for the Bolt Glitch, I guess. Devastator, I remember. Oh, no, I'm so sorry to hear that, man. I barely got to have you in here. I didn't know what the best time to have this stream would be, so I apologize. You can't hang around later. All right, buddy. Thank you for popping in and saying hey, at least. Gold weapons, they kind of didn't do anything. Visibomb was interesting, but there was a skill point that was a pain in the ass with it, I remember now. You had to, like, turn these super tight corners. Walloper, I think that was just a big kind of punch thing. Tesla Claw, people love that one. I didn't see the love with it. It didn't really work very well for me. Taunter, same as the Decoy Glove. I only used it for the Bulk Glitch, and that was it. And the skill points that required it. Suck Cannon was interesting. Not a lot of weapons in this game, to be honest with you. Glove of Doom. I mean, really just not that much. Not that much in terms of interesting weapons. Okay, as a game, I think Ratchet and Clank, first Ratchet and Clank is going to go into A tier. Introduce you to the characters. Ratchet wasn't great, but still is a nice introduction. Got Quark. Drek is a really good villain. The game itself was very fun. The only really irritating parts of it were, which you don't have to do for the main game, was like the hoverboard race skill point and the million bullets glitch, which as a game, obviously you don't have to do that, but if you're going for the platinum, it is required. Yeah, Pigwin. I agree with that sentiment. Let's go hang out with Ratchet for a second. Where is he at? That's the Metal Gear crew over there. I know they're somewhere. I know he and Rivet are hanging out. There they are. They're back here. Do you not have Kit with you, Rivet? That's weird. Oh, yeah, this is very familiar. I use this for a lot of, video intros or video clips. How many ape robots are there, by the way? When I do this video, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it looks like, once you include the one from the DLC, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, Jesus Christ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, 11, because this is the new one that just got added. So that's Ratchet and Clank. Where would you put it, if any different? This is gameplay. This is platinum. First of all, let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Parappa the Rapper 2, trophies, no plat, go to jail. Ratchet and Clank, Tools of Destruction, no trophies, go to jail. Quest for Booty, no trophies, go to jail. Those games sit down there forever. Sad. I hope I can save this. I mean, I guess I do have single-use tier list. I'll just have to take a screenshot of it and add them to it. Okay, Parappa the Rapper. Fucking Parappa the Rapper, dude. Parappa the Rapper, immediately, I was like, oh man, there's going to be some challenging elements to this platinum that I was not prepared for. I don't even remember what PSN profiles gave Parappa the Rapper, to be honest with you. You played Parappa the Rapper 2 for the first time the other day, really dig the game, but the 100% trophy, yeah, that's it. The game itself, really cool. The 100% trophies, oh my god, having to get cool mode on every level is one thing, that's doable. There was a really easy method in Parappa the Rapper 1 that I talk about in the video. Parappa the Rapper 1 is really not that bad. Fucking getting the verses on the hardest difficulty of all 8 levels in Parappa 2, probably the most frustrating trophy that I've done for the entire channel. Right, let's mute you for now. Practice makes perfect. That was just a tutorial. I think it was just a trophy for beating each of the levels for the first time. This was kind of frustrating, having to clear all the stages on easy, and that doesn't stack with doing it on normal. Because you essentially had to play the first 3 levels on easy, get that trophy, then go back to a normal, play all the stages again. That was a little bit frustrating. Not that bad. Find the secrets in every stage. It's hard to do when you're focusing on playing the stage. There were multiple times where I had chat members be like, there it is, I saw it, I didn't see it. Cool rating on every stage. Like I said, if you're trying to do it normally, probably a little bit difficult, but if you do the strategy that I laid out in the video that I found from another channel, very simple. I think I fell out of it a couple times, but overall, not bad at all. Unlock and play KT in the Sunny Funny Band. I think you get this automatically once you get cool mode on every stage. Miscellaneous trophies. Don't miss a beat in any stage. I think I got that pretty easily. Clear stage rating with a rating, or clear any stage with a rating of awful. This is hard a little bit because once you're in awful, because you have to pass or fail a beat twice in a row to go up or down, right? Once you're in awful, if you fail again and go below awful, it's game over. So you have to kind of like hold yourself in awful or wait to the very end and just purposefully flunk it when you know there's X amount of beats left. Purposefully flunk it and finish with an awful rating. And it was very easy to screw up. Comeback King, turn an awful performance into a cool one. This could be a little difficult. I'm surprised it was only a bronze trophy because getting cool on any stage is a silver trophy. So I'm surprised that was a bronze trophy. Not this trophy list, other than getting the 6 stages in cool mode. Once you know how to do that, once you know the trick, super easy. Level 4 is obviously a little bit broken because this is a port of the PSP game where the cheap inputs are slightly delayed. So I would be doing what I thought was a really good job and I just like couldn't do it, right? While I'm sitting here yip yapping, let's go over and hang out with Parappa. Where is he? What up, you bum? I gotta believe. But without further ado, as a platinum, honestly, quicker and easier than Ratchet and Clank, and it wasn't anything that I was like repeating the game several times, and I felt like I was just like, we get it already, we get it. I almost like the platinum experience better than Ratchet and Clank, but not good enough to go in A tier because it didn't have the really frustrating Million Bolts trophy. That's kind of how I feel about it. As a game itself, it was funny, but that's not my genre. That's not my type of games. But the songs themselves were really funny, and it made the game enjoyable. For me, enjoyable to play through once, get the platinum. I would probably never have any care, need, want, or desire to go back to it, but I would go back to Ratchet and Clank. So I'm going to put it on B tier. It'll probably end up on the bottom of B tier, maybe top of C tier. Have I seen the peak Parappa the Rapper memes, like the one where Batman shows Parappa where his parents... No, but I've seen that template used for other stuff. This is where I watched my parents die, Parappa. Have you seen the Robot Chicken Parappa the Rapper sketches, though? Oh my god, dude. Hold on. Check this shit out. All right, let's do this. Mute you. Hopefully I don't get fucking tagged for this.
Spectrum makes it simple. With the most reliable fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Set up.
Your Honor, the defendant was arrested without a license in a car containing 3 concealed weapons and over an ounce of marijuana.
Oh, counsel, if your client insists on pleading the fifth, I'll have no choice but to throw the book at him. How do you want to proceed?
This is 100% something that would happen in the game.
Kick, punch, we don't have much time. If you don't squeal, you're gonna serve a dime. I'm fine either way, cause I still get paid. But listen to a teacher, this will be your next play. Now snitch! Snitch! Rats, rats!
Oh shit, PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, Robot Chicken. We might have to watch that when we're done. Snitch!
Don't be a hero when you could serve zero. Or do you wanna
Hey, welcome Shirley. What a niche thing, too, to show up on Robot Chicken.
Wasn't driving the car, I was chilling in the back. It was King Kong Lucy with the drugs behind the wheel. If it keeps my culo safe, bet your ass I'm gonna squeal.
This is absurd. He wants to throw us off his scent.
Your Honor, I've prepared a plea agreement.
It can't be a
No, I have not, Big One. That sounds horrifying, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you gotta believe.
Gotta believe!
Up now, Parappa.
Life After Death, the posthumous release. I want to see what this is about.
T for teen.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
Bagel. Nathan,
Do you, want to talk about it?
I'd rather not.
I wish we could platinum this
Got
game
beat
so
by a
bad.
burlap sack. It happened. I just feel like for once I really let my guard down and you just steamrolled me.
Take it to HR, old man.
I knew you didn't care.
The last round was great.
Ah, you a Naruto? The thing she's into. That heavenly sword is poorly named.
Oh my.
We'll get him next
I'm
time.
so sad I can't platinum that game, man.
Oh, sorry. There.
Okay, everyone. Break is over.
No Ratchet, no Parappa?
Purchase for the PS3 includes downloadable PS Vita version.
Man.
Your Honor, the defendant was arrested.
Good stuff. Okay, so we've ranked Parappa, right? Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. Marvel vs. Capcom Arcade Fighting Classics. I don't even need to look at the trophies for this one. It was 7. Oh, you know what I completely forgot that I did? I got all my games from back there. Hold on, let me try to rearrange my stuff on screen a little bit better here. I was going to be like, yeah, let's talk about each game. So that's the Ratchet & Clank HD Trilogy, because that's the version we platinumed. Ratchet & Clank. I'm trying to get a physical copy. This is a really... Is there a poster in here? Oh, shit. I've never opened this game box. Hold up. What? Is he on the hoverboard, or is he... I think he's... Okay, he's got the Magna Boots. I was about to be, like, triggered. Oh, dude! All the weapons are on the back. I could have just used this. There's only 8 weapons, not including the... This is the coolest, like, little, instruction manual or whatever. Bro, I gotta start checking these boxes. Do we put this up in the room? Do we put this up in the room on display? I've never once opened several of the boxes of these games that I bought. Look at the cool shit that you find, dude. That's awesome. Anyways, I don't have a copy of Parappa the Rapper yet. Those they seem to be a little hard to put it up. I gotta figure out where to put it up, man. I have to put up, like, I set my space up like a year or two, or a year and some change ago when I moved in. I have so much shit that I still have to set up and put up. I put up like my PC, and obviously I've got like my new Astrobot stuff shelf in the back, and I've got my, used to be in camera, not anymore, my Dragon Ball VHS set up, my Stephen King shelf. Get it framed. I have other things I need to worry about framing. Marvel vs. Capcom Arcade Fighting Classics. It is in the shrink wrap. I bought this from Walmart. Jammer land me physical copy? No, because I didn't play that game. I do need Parappa 1 and 2, though. So, I just noticed something. While we're gonna... Oh, you know what? I need to look up the guide real quick. I keep nudging the microphone, so sorry about those poofs you're probably hearing. Dude, this game, man, what a... And hitting this 3rd in my challenge overall, this was a big... Ugh. Was it 4 out of 10? I mean, I guess because you can set the difficulty all the way down to the bottom for every game, but trying to do the normal difficulty on some of these games was really ridiculous. Also, this is the video, my first video that got popular. I thought that I had cracked the code because I went from getting, like, you know, 120 views to 60 views. This video hit 3,500. So I was like, oh shit, dude, I've cracked the code. I did it. I made it, Mom. And then immediately proceeded to find out that was not, in fact, the case. Still a few more videos. I think Crash Bandicoot was the next one that did some good numbers and is now my best performing one. Once again, thought I cracked the code. Was on cloud 9, this feeling of elation. And then after cracking time, it just died. Just died. And I don't know why. But that's okay, because like I've said repeatedly, I'm just here to have fun, meet some cool new folks like you, Pigwin, and Noam, who's in here earlier, and several other people who have stopped by to chat. And I've been trying to open the shrink wrap on this game the whole time. So I was at Walmart, and I bought this game. The reason that I opened this is because while we're opening games, I noticed that this says Marvel vs. Capcom comic book included, English only. So I figured we'd have a dramatic reading. I don't know what's in there. I went to Walmart, bought this game. It was like $20 or $25. I had bought a physical copy, or I'm sorry, a digital copy for when I did the series, and then I found this, and I was like, yeah, I should start buying all these games physically. Boy, what that ended up doing to my wallet later on, Jesus Christ. The lady at the, it was like a Friday afternoon. The lady at the checkout goes, I bet you're going to go home and play this all weekend, aren't you? And I said, no, ma'am. I've actually played it already. I'm buying this as a shelf piece. And she kind of looked at me and she kind of goes, and she gave me probably the most disgusted look a woman has ever given me, like in the last 10, 15 years. And that really did something in here. Like, she looked at me, she was like, this motherfucker. Like, she looked at me with disgust. You feel like if you make a generic platinum thumbnail, it has more views, but if you have a more unique platinum thumbnail, you don't have as many views. So that's kind of what I thought for a while, and we started going with a pattern of what we noticed, me and my thumbnail guy, what we thought was working, and it worked for 4 videos, and then it just didn't. I'm really hoping the Metal Gear Solid video does okay, because it started to make me sad. Anyways, what was interesting about this game, other than the general trophies of, like, you know, do a continue, use a continue for the first time, every game, all 7 of them had unique trophies, and some of them were super easy, some of them were absolutely not. It was like the platinum process was finish every game, play every game. Yeah, this is just a general, use a continue, and then they would all have like 3 or 4 game-specific platinum, or game-specific trophies. So achieve a 50-hit combo, that ended up being kind of a pain in the ass. KO an opponent with a Hyper X, it's like a super move, that was super easy. This was one of the harder ones. You had to go through this series of like bullshit rules to encounter Akuma in one of the stages. This one right here, this ended up being my favorite of all 7 games, and we knocked it out like almost immediately, which is kind of a shame. Had the best story. It was the most like in tune I felt with the controls. A lot of fun. As far as the game specific trophies, activate the gem most. This right here, having the infinity gems, awesome, fucking awesome, incredible. They all did different things. They worked better for certain characters that they were more suited to. Go to the hidden dimension. That was easy. It was just a specific stage transition. Pull off an air combo. Harder than you'd think. Still did it naturally. This game I hated just because it hit me with the full difficulty. I don't remember much about this one. Who was the boss? Oh, Apocalypse, dude. Fuck that. Yeah, this was awful. This one sucked. This one was okay, but it had another one of the irritating conditions. I had to play it in Japanese because I had to play Norimaru. Marvel vs. Capcom 1. Oh, yeah, so also with my physical collection, I have been starting to slowly locate them. Pigwin, your best thumbnail in your opinion is Crack in Time as Dr. Nefarious in the background colors. Looks kind of cool. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. I've actually found 4, but I've only purchased 3. Got Marvel Superheroes versus Street Fighter. That cost me $65. Marvel vs. Capcom 1. That cost $60. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That cost $55 because it was loose, and I had my friend make me a cover. This is not a real cover. There's no booklet inside. It is not a complete inbox copy, but I really don't give a shit. I'm going to look and see. These are complete inbox, these other ones. I mean, no, this is 100% just a printed out photo of the cover, so I feel like I kind of got played there. And same with the other one. I mean, they come from the exact same store. That makes me feel a little angry. But, the really frustrating part about the Punisher was great too. The really frustrating part about this game was the complete each game in the collection with every character. And what did I do this for? The Ryubot? And I guess it's going to count for Ken as well when I get Ken in Galaxy 2. You should get the Punisher physical game. So the Punisher is actually the most expensive one. Like every copy I see is between $300 to $1,000. This was a great game though. I really enjoyed it. The Punisher and Marvel Superheroes were my 2 favorite of the bunch. This game had like 50 something playable character, 56, and this one had 21, so that's not bad at all. The problem was you could have 2 characters in this game, 3 characters in this game. That's all good and well. Problem was this was a 2-phase boss. So the way that you did it was you got to the boss, you die purposefully against the boss. So you can create a save state before the final boss when you're at the character select screen. Then you can beat the game with the boss. It thankfully counts for every character that's in your party. Unlike, I think, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, it only counts when you have to go through the arcade. It only counts as the character that you're currently playing as. Now, that's a little bit better because that's 1 game as opposed to 7 games. But I'd have to beat the boss, reload the save, pick, In some games cases, 1 character, some games 2 or 3 characters, refight the boss. That's all good and well. This was a 2-phase fight, so even though there was 2 characters, I still had to go through 2 phases. This was a 3-phase fight, so even though there was 3 characters, I had to go through 3 phases. So it's like I had 1 fight per character regardless. What's the most expensive game you own in your entire physical game collection, and how much did I pay? I mean, in the future, it will probably be one of these when I buy them physically. The most expensive one I bought so far was 65, which you can't say is the most expensive anymore because modern games cost 70, in some case $80. So it was probably the collector's edition of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which was $300. Games is back. Domino's said they're shifting to digital pizzas on April 1st. Who knows if it'll be the same as a physical pizza? It'll be like Plankton. Oh boy, digital meatloaf. So help me save calories at least. Anyways, we were going to, as we're opening all these boxes, here it is. We'll do a dramatic reading together. Marvel vs. Capcom Arcade Fighting Classics Custom Branded Content. Story time. We open on Ryu doing a Shoryuken against Captain America, who swiftly blocks the punch. Captain America says, "Ryu, we've been allies before. Stop this madness and let's talk." To which Ryu replies, "The time for talk ended when your world invaded mine, Captain America. Shoryuken!" Flip page. Oh, there's so many people on there. I don't even know who's who. It's a spread page. Everybody's fighting. Iron Man says, "Forget it, Cap. They're not listening. Hey, Morgan, are you magic or tech? You have to pick one." To which she responds, "Sorry, Iron Man. I never do what I'm told." Looks like Spider-Man is over here fighting Mega Man. He said, "You're lucky I'm holding back so I don't hurt you, Mega Man." To which he responds, "Don't worry about me, Spider-Man. I'm a robot." Bleep bloop. Spider-Man then replies, "Then I'm holding back because I'm a nice guy?" Love that we lost a viewer during that. They were like, "I did not sign up for this horse shit." We flip the page. Who's that? What's her name? Psylocke is fighting Chun-Li. Dude, the battle of the fucking thighs. Psylocke says, "This is ridiculous, Chun-Li. My mental powers can determine what's going on, if you'll let me." To which Chun-Li says, "Do you take us all for fools, Psylocke? Yes, I suppose you must. Sending your friends to attack our home, then expecting us to put ourselves at your mercy." Cyclops, who's fighting, I don't know who the fuck that is. Cyclops says, "Oh, it's Captain Commando." He says, "One more time, Captain Commando." Hold on, I have to do the Cyclops. "We have no idea what you're talking about." Everybody's confused. Lost another viewer to that comic book reading, by the way. Everybody's like, fuck this. Captain Commando says, "Yeah, right, Cyclops. That's what all the perps say. Tell it to the robo-judge." I see some pirate chick who I do not know, and she's fighting Wolverine. "Enough, your people wanted war. It's war you shall have. Pardonne." Oh, she's French. I don't know that word. To which Wolverine says, "Is that a flaming pirate ship?" Whoa! He's been blasted. Whoa! "1 minute. Isn't Wolverine one of those who is on our world at this very moment?" Mega Man and Spider-Man are chilling for a moment. He's going to check on Wolverine. There he is. "Now that you mention it, there's a Spider-Man in our world too, but he has a black costume." To which Spidey says, "Black costume? I have a bad feeling I know what's going on here. Sorry I was a little late thwapping you out of there, Wolverine." "I'm healing already." Captain America shows up. He says, "Spider-Man and I are in agreement. Someone's tricked you. Whoever's invaded your world is impersonating us and your friends. And our friends. Can you show us what's happening there?" Ryu pops up again. "My boy. I suppose there's no harm in it. Ruby," who's the pirate chick I didn't know, "I recently recovered a crystal ball from Demon's Horde that should do the job." "There. You see a chaos on our world," which Psylocke says. "Yes, I do, and I understand your anger. But those are imposters. I sense the crystal ball will let me focus my powers across dimensions and read their thoughts, see who they really are, see what's going on in their world. All the Marvel heroes are attacking. There's a lot more to this comic left. I'm not going to lie to you guys, like a lot more. A lot more. So I'm going to put it down. The comic book killed every ounce of viewership that I had that wasn't you two in the chat, by the way. Okay, let's get back to ranking. Gotta try to put all my games back in order. Where were we at? Marvel vs. Capcom. For trophies. Most irritating. That beat down my soul. That shit was rough. As a game, I don't really care for fighting games at all. Not my genre unless I'm super interested in the story. They had virtually no story. I enjoyed Marvel superheroes and I enjoyed Punisher, and every other game was ass. So D tier. Not quite so bad that it's F tier because there were definitely enjoyable moments in it. Ass. Who was that for? Oh, I've blocked most of my screen with my chat. My bad. Let's bring that over here. Who was that for? That was for Ryu. Here he is. Hey, buddy. Goodbye. All right, next up was for Metal Gear. It was Metal Gear 1 and 2. They are... Where are they? There they are. While I've got you guys here, what do you think as far as the character unlock screen goes? So I've got, obviously, when I did Metal Gear 1 and 2, I unlocked Solid Snake and... This is Solid Snake, right? Not Naked Snake. Solid Snake and Gray Fox. Dude, this is so... Like, being able to, like, know what they do now. Psycho Mantis. Look at his little TV, too. It shows, like, the part of the boss fight where he's reading your memory and stuff. Solid Snake has a Solid Snake. I understood that reference. But in that case, so there's Naked Snake, and then also, like, Ken, who I haven't technically unlocked in Astro Bot yet, but I've got them in their games taken care of. My original plan was to, when I get to their galaxy and unlock them, just add them to the unlock screen on the first Platinum video. Do you think I should keep doing that, or should I add them to the unlock screen when I complete their game, even if I haven't gotten their bot in Astro Bot yet? If I do that, that's fine, but I am going to have to go back through and add a couple of bots. Like, I think Ken, Naked Snake. That might be all for right now. But there's going to be a couple more instances in Galaxy 2. Metal Gear 1 and 2. As a Platinum, it was fine. It was literally just play the game, beat the game, do the script book, and do the boss rush was a little bit irritating. I'm glad there wasn't anything like that on Metal Gear Solid. Come on. Yeah, start the game, destroy Metal Gear, beat Big Boss, complete Metal Gear, complete boss survival. Same thing. Start the game, destroy the Metal Gear, defeat Gray Fox, defeat Big Boss, complete Metal Gear 2, complete boss survival, and read the entire screenplay book. Platinum, very basic, very kind of boring. I would go, but there, I mean, other than the boss rush, there wasn't anything that bad to it. As a Platinum, I would go C tier. It was very bog standard, very by the numbers. As a game, I got little to no enjoyment out of playing it, to be honest with you. I would probably put it probably there. And it's lucky it's not going, like, there were very cool story elements, but good God, man, some of that old game logic was infuriating. Like the shit that I'd expected you to figure out. Sorry, Pig, when you said, have I seen the animation of Solid Snake and the British villain singing Apple Bottom Jeans, and whilst singing it, Snake keeps repeating the lyrics in a confused tone, which is accurate. No, I have not. I might have to watch that after we're done with this. Ratchet and Clank 2. Back to Ratchet and Clank. Let's look at the trophy list. I feel like the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games are all very similar in their trophies. 3 out of 10. I don't know, but hey, Riley, how's it going, buddy? Not bad. We're just sitting here ranking games. We're discussing. The collect a million bolts wasn't terrible once you had the bolt multiplier in challenge mode. That really made that simpler. Other than that, I think it was mostly, yeah, defeat the final boss, skill point, skill point, skill point, bunch of skill points. Really just all skill points. Max out nanotech upgrades. Yeah, get all platinum bolts, all 30 skill points. Beat the impossible challenge in the Megacorp games. I don't even remember what that is, to be honest with you. I feel like this game had a generally weaker story than Ratchet 1. And as far as the weapons, I don't even remember many of them very well. I remember a couple of irritating skill points. I remember Wrench Ninja 2, I feel like was kind of irritating. There was another one. It was like go through this whole planet using only weapons from Ratchet and Clank 1. What's to be or not to be hit? Oh, defeat the B2 Brawler without a scratch. What was that? Maybe, you know what? It probably wasn't a trophy. That's probably what it was. When I think back to Ratchet and Clank 2, the only things I can think about are those fucking the ship missions.
Wow.
Wow. Oh yeah, the races.
That thing.
There were races, there were the ship skill points. These were kind of irritating. These were not anywhere near as bad as the hoverboard.
You fool! You simple. Quite cool there. But my suffering isn't a system, so that was another thing.
Here
to keep
it
my eyes
is.
open for. Eventually, I got to the final challenge in the space system. I raced with another ship that has you fly of me several times. This sucks. This is gonna be the worst platinum bolt, I feel like.
Yeah, this was terrible. The platinum bolt grind for this game was way worse than Ratchet and Clank 1 for the gold bolts.
I'll try spinning. That's a good. How did I miss a ring? How did I miss it? Well, can I?
This one was rough. As a platinum, do I think it was better or worse than Ratchet and Clank 1? And this is harder than I thought. I really should have gone through and like watched each of the Ratchet and Clank videos fully, or like read the full plot synopsis, because I don't remember much of it other than Angela was there. Quark was disguising himself as Professor or some Fizzwidget guy, and he had funny dialogue, but he wasn't a compelling villain. Like it had the weakest villain of the series with like the Protopet and the Fizzwidget. Are there any videos on this channel you wish you could delete and redo? Am I happy with how I'm satisfied with how they turned out for the skill level that I was at when I made them. So like I'm not physically able to remake the early ones any better because I don't have access to those files on my computer, like the raw gameplay file, the raw, webcam file like I do now. So there's not anything I could do to make those better, really. Maybe I could do a better voiceover for the script. Maybe I could write a better script. Maybe I could do better edits in the background, but I don't know. I'm proud of what I was able to accomplish knowing nothing going in. So I think I'm okay with them. Ratchet and Clank 2 is a platinum. Again, it's basic shit. Like there's no specific trophy for this game that makes it worse. It's just like collect all this, collect all that, fully upgrade all this, fully upgrade all that, do all the skill points. It's just a very basic platinum. I think I'm gonna put it. It doesn't have the million bolts thing, which immediately makes it better than Ratchet 1. I think the skill points overall were better than Ratchet 1, but the platinum bolt grind was worse in Ratchet 2 than the gold bolt grind was in Ratchet 1. Gameplay was heavily improved, but story I feel like was maybe not as good, but gameplay was heavily improved. It's definitely going to go in A tier. The question is, do I want it over Ratchet 1? Like, it had the weakest villain. Anybody played these games in the chat? What are your thoughts? It had a lot of improvements. I think it added strafing, it added the weapon leveling system, it added the health leveling system. Those are both great. The story was just a little bit weaker. Have I seen much from the World Cup? No, I'm not really a sports guy very much. Football, as the rest of the world calls it. think I put it above Ratchet 1 for right now in story. As far as platinum goes, yeah, I think it also goes above Ratchet 1. Do I put it above Parappa, though? Because the Million Bolts grind was a lot easier in this game. Parappa was probably our quickest platinum on the channel. Because let me see here. Technically, the quickest platinum, according to PSN profiles, is going to be Astro's Playroom. I got that done in less than just under 4 hours. However, if we scroll back and look at Parappa, I mean, that was a 2 hour and some change stream. And okay, so maybe this was slightly longer. Hour 50. Yeah, it's like right at 4 hours. So it's right tied with Astro's Playroom. Really was not bad at all to platinum. I feel like some of my live streaming thumbnails was a little more into it in the beginning. Ratchet & Clank 2 is great, but the problem is it doesn't deserve to have the longest story mode out of all games. It doesn't really have the longest story mode. How many streams was that? Part 5, Part 7. Yeah, Part 8 parts on Ratchet 2. I mean, I think Ratchet 1 was 9 parts. But you gotta look at how long these are. Hour and a half. Well, that's 5 hours. 5 hours, 3:45. Yeah. That was only an hour 45. That one's only an hour and a half. For Ratchet 2, 3.5, 4.5, 2.5, 3.5, 3, 4:40. I mean, that's pretty long. That's pretty damn long. Still scared by the Ratchet. Yeah, that one. Yeah. Spooky shit. I think it goes above Ratchet & Clank. I think it goes below Parappa the Rapper because once I figured cool mode out, it wasn't that bad. But the Platinum Bolt grind was terrible. I kind of wish I had done a little bit more due diligence as far as like looking into the story and like really digging into each games and seeing, especially when it comes to the Ratchet & Clank, seeing which ones I liked more. MLB, as a game, it was fine. I really don't, again, it's not my, these down here are like not my genre, right? I had a better time with it than these, shockingly enough. Just, it's not my kind of game. I'm not a big sports guy. I had a lot of fun during the streams because the trophies were pretty easy, and I did the 999 stream, and that was a lot of fun. I remember, I mean, the first day, I got the 18 trophies that I needed to get the 999 challenge going. I got it on the first day, and that was only, I mean, it was a 4.5 hour stream, but still incredibly easy. Can you search, please? It was 22. Yeah, 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10, 5 hours. The hardest part was this online required right here. The portal is open. Or no, not the portal is open. The did we just become friends? Because the servers were dead. Dead with a capital D. What stream has the most views? That's a great question, Pigwin. Maybe the Wings stream, I think. Most concurrent viewers I've ever had, I think, was 25, but like most of them were not chatting. I think that was after the Crash Bandicoot video did relatively good numbers. The Wings stream, yeah, 306 views. That's probably going to be the one to beat. 111 there. 164 on Astro's Playroom. Which is funny because the Platinum video has less fucking views than that. Yeah, you can really see the drop-off here on views, because right around here was the time that YouTube decided, like, never mind, we're not pushing this out anymore. Because you're going from, like, constantly 200, 238, 230, you know, 190, 190, 181 to these first couple did okay, and then it starts to really taper off. Really taper off. 300 for the Wing stream. Yeah, see, Deadlock, right around here is where we started picking up. Some of these early ones were a little low. Anyways, as a Platinum, I don't remember these being bad. Yeah, the dynamic difficulty, like the rookie, minors, and amateur batting difficulty, weren't bad at all. I think something got screwed up with my pitching It was one or the other, pitching or batting. Something got screwed up. My progress got reset, so that took a little bit of time to get. I think the thing that ended up taking slightly longer for the platinum was, where was it? 3 stolen bases. That took a minute to figure out. Getting stolen bases. Getting 2 doubles within a complete game, flashing the leather. I think that was my platinum, like, ending trophy. But honestly, with all the difficulty sliders, it was not bad at all. There were a lot of like creative, things that I had to aim for specifically. This might be a controversial opinion because I'm putting the game itself in D tier because it's just not my game. The platinum itself might be like, I mean, it was varied, it was fun. Getting online was a little bit irritating. Luckily, I linked up with a guy. He was very nice. We were able to hop in a game together. I don't know. Might go here. I feel like I got to start filling in some of these higher. I remember having a lot of fun while doing this, like way more fun than I anticipated having. So I think that's kind of where I'm going to put it. All right, Ratchet & Clank 3. I don't remember if this game had any big, like, I mean, obviously Ratchet & Clank 1 had the hoverboard thing. Ratchet & Clank 2 had the... Well, oh, yeah, I know what the thing with Ratchet & Clank 3 was. The fucking 10 million bolt trophy. If not for the 10 million bolt trophy, this game would be, like, up, top of the line. Top of the line. Let's see... Titanium bolts were not bad at all. The skill points, honestly, were not bad at all. Oh, you know what? The Quark tokens as well. Or the Quark, the speed runs specifically. Those skill points, the speed runs. Controversial opinion, but the Future Trilogy is better than the PS2 trilogy. I'd have to really play them again to think about it. Other than that, it was just all, yeah, skill points. Getting all the Omega weapons. Yeah, fully level up to 200, collect 10 million. The collect 10 million bolts and the skill point for getting the speed run on all the Quark levels, those were frustrating. However, as a game, with the weapons, with the story, I think that's going to be our first S tier. TBH. Platinum, that can get an A tier, but it's going to go under MLB. Not as... Now, a lot of the hoverboard challenge had to do with my streaming settings at the time, my computer's strength. That was before I'd upgraded my PC, so it was not doing well with all that fast-moving hoverboard stuff. That was a lot of the problem, but the million bolt thing was stupid. The fact that you have to rely on a glitch to not have to play the game 4 or 5 times. And every time I think about Ratchet & Clank 2, every time I think about it, all I can think about is the fucking ship. Like, the ship levels. And those getting all the rings and beating the time. When I think about Ratchet 3, I think about the comedy, I think about Dr. Nefarious, I think about Courtney Gears, I think about the weapon, I think about Courtney Gears again, So that's going to be an easy on both counts, higher than the rest of the trilogy. All right, let's pop back over to the game for just a second. Look, Astro is like, dude, fucking today. Oh, you know what I did again? Let's see. Metal Gear Solid, Master Collection. So far for this game, I did get a copy of Metal Gear on the MSX. The original Metal Gear. I just need Metal Gear 2. Shirley said the hoverboard crash outs were funny to watch at least. Yeah, but damn, dude. Was that 5.5 or 6 hours I was doing that one hoverboard challenge? Pigwin, I hate how the first few games you have limited slots for your guns. Yeah, I get that. Ratchet & Clank 2, hold on. This box is also heavy. Guys. Do we have another poster? Oh, we might have another. Hold on. Is it? Oh. No, it's just a... It's not a poster. It's just a very... Like, this thing is empty. Maybe there used to be something in there. That is super lame. I got so excited for a second. Got really excited, but it's what it is. MLB, I don't think there's anything interesting in there. There's not. Ratchet 3. I have a return address. Oh, snap. Get connected to the world of PlayStation. Connect all your games now. Must have been the early days of like PS2 networks. All right, Crash Bandicoot. I used to have a copy of all 3 games on PlayStation 1 when I was a kid. It was the first video game I ever played. I no longer have a copy of Crash Bandicoot, and I keep seeing it in the store that I go to a lot, that I frequent for old used games. It's like $50, and I don't want to pay $50. Have I read the Ratchet & Clank comics? They are quite expensive and now a cool collector's item. I didn't know Crash Bandicoot comics were a thing, so no. Where is Crash? There he is. Hey, buddy. Wow. I know there's a trophy to dance with him. I'm saving it for the... Let me make sure I'm not playing on my channel account. No, I'm playing on my account, so we can dance with him. That's so cool that when you're standing... So, when you're standing off by yourself, you do the Carlton, right? Not unusual to be... No. I don't remember the words. But when you're standing with Crash... Now he's flossing. Do your thing, man. Do your thing with Crash. No. 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 Stop making me look like a fool, Astro. You were doing the Crash Bandicoot dance. Or the dance moves. Maybe I have to hit him. No? Okay, he definitely was doing it just a second ago, right? Like, he was doing the Crash dance. You know what? Whatever. He's making me look like a fool. That's fine. Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot was... That was probably, at the time, definitely the hardest I had worked on any one video. And then it came out, and I don't know what was going on with YouTube's recent algorithm change. It got like 20 views. And I was like, what the fuck? I was so upset about it because I spent so long working on it. And I was like, Crash Bandicoot is so popular. How is this only getting 20 views? And then I deleted it and I re-uploaded it with a different thumbnail. And it was like, it is still to this day my most popular. The game, as a game, dude, Crash Bandicoot is, I love it. It's going to be, it has a lot of personal memory and like meaning to me. The first game is also probably the weakest Crash game, though. It's either going to go top of A or bottom of S. There's not really a discernible story. Crash doesn't have a whole lot of personality. Obviously, he doesn't speak. I'm going to go top of A. As a Platinum, on the other hand, having to get the gold relic on every level, and then on top of it, having to do the DLC level, which I think I ended up doing like 3rd. I don't do this anymore. Subtitles in videos. I don't know. Do you guys think that helps at all? Doing these like flashy
Crash
little
Bandicoot Platinum Trophy was
flashy little subtitles. I would look hardcore with a Ratchet and Clank tattoo on my neck. I'm not allowed to get tattoos on my neck, my guy, but thank you. Hardcore Ratchet and Clank tattoo. I would just get Clank. Just a pinup of Clank.
Was definitely my toughest challenge.
Yeah, I don't do this whole... I do still try to get text, like fonts that match each game, but I don't do the subtitles in videos. I don't know if that helps me or hurts me, to be honest with you. Maybe that's one of the things that's hurting me. Who knows? Crash Bandicoot overall, I mean, there was a couple times that were like a little bit rough, but this one right here.
This
level. Oh man, let's just sit back and watch. Group watch.
Everything bad about the previous bridge level, but cranked up to 11. I know I'm just not that good at it, but good lord, this level did everything in its power to break me. Slippery planks, invincible hogs, planks that instantly break under you, seemingly impossible to gauge jump distances for intermediate or newer players, this level has it all. Over 5.5 hours, I gave it everything I had, trying to learn different tactics.
Yeah, how long was I spending on this level? This was like... I think this became the new longest stream. I think I beat out the hoverboard from Ratchet & Clank 1 with this. I was having full-on, like, chest pains. I was like, I'm gonna crash out.
I'm trying so hard not to snap right now.
That was fun, though, getting to use the crash, like the whoa, 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 as, like, my sensor noise for that game. That was fun. I have since gone back and platinumed all 3 original Crash Bandicoot games on my personal account. Back to the Lost Treasure DLC specifically has a 7 out of 10. And that just goes to show you PSN profiles, man. 7 out of 10. This was not at all the hardest platinum that I did. Platinum is very straightforward. Obviously beat the game, died the specific enemy that you get right off the bat. Yeah, just get the keys, earn the gems, spin away an extra life as a miscellaneous, 2 specific deaths that are miscellaneous, earn 99 lives. There's a very easy thing you can do to get that. It's just the relics. Just the relics are what pushes it into frustrating territory. But I will say at the same time, that made it very, like, when I got that platinum, I felt rewarded. Whereas the rest of these games were like, you know, I was just going, like, the Ratchet & Clank games had a couple of tough skill points, but I was just kind of going through the motions of completing, leveling up, grinding money, collecting everything. This was the first time that I felt like I did something rewarding. You know, this shit means something to me, man. As a platinum. It's because it's just the gold relics. There. I think. Because the platinum wasn't all that interesting. My real Game Boy moment? Yeah, precisely. And then immediately swinging in with the next thing. Ratchet Deadlocked. Platinum, I remember for this one being good. I liked the platinum process. There was nothing... Now, there were a couple of skill points that I was, like, kind of bashing my head against the wall for, but that's also because I chose to play it on a harder difficulty. Upgrade 3 weapons to level 10. Is that all you had to do? Just upgrade 3 weapons to level 10? Increase nanotech to 50, which was not even max. That was easy. Collect 40,000 bolts. All the skill points was the only real thing. Let's see. And a lot of these were also just skill points. Yeah, earn XYZ skill. Oh, no, you did. Upgrade all weapons to level 10 and 4 million bolts. Honestly, I remember those not being... Like, they came naturally while just playing the game. I think the platinum experience for Deadlocked was better than the other one so far. However, as a game, it's going on the bottom, at least as far as the original trilogy goes. The question is, does it go at the bottom of A or the top of B? It had 0 story relevancy to the rest of the franchise. It was just combat. It was just straight combat. I'll go top of B. It was still a lot of fun, but just like the villain was not very memorable. The story was not very memorable. It had no impact on the rest of the series. It's just kind of there. As a platinum, though, one of, if not the best, Ratchet & Clank platinum. Glitchy as hell. Glitchy as all hell. I think I made that the focus of the thumbnail. Yeah, and the title. Yeah, it was super glitchy. Okay, what's next? Jak and Daxter. Looking at the rest of the Jak and Daxter franchise, I don't think that's a franchise that I would want to go back to. It seems like they steered way more into the action shooting thing, and I feel like Ratchet and Clank's kind of got that covered for me, personally. So I think Jak 1, I'm kind of good with that being my only real foray into the series. I didn't realize that Jak doesn't speak at all until after I had finished playing the game, which is weird. This is as a platinum. The platinum was, other than getting all of the orbs, platinum was incredibly easy. I did the PS4 version, which is a different trophy list slightly than the PS3 version. Also, if there's anybody else hanging out in chat that has not chatted yet or has not taken the time to pop in, say hello, introduce yourselves, feel free. I would love to get to know new people. Discuss your favorite games, because I also kind of want this to be like a light, relative Q&A, loosely, if you want, if you care. This platinum was incredibly straightforward. It was, is this the one I did? The PS4 version, or did I do the PS3 version? Hold on. How many trophies were there? This was the one that I experimented with doing subtitles for every single time that I popped up on screen, and that got old very quickly.
Worth a play. I was immediately it's a platinum trophy. You've done so high teasing the final edge towards the and platinum number 10.
26. Okay. Have I pre-ordered GTA 6? No, I have not. Matthew! Welcome, Matthew. I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Have I checked out the Power World update? No, I have not, but I'll tell you what I did see. I did see one of my friends, one of my close, dear, real-life friends pop up on Steam playing Power World instead of hanging out in the chat. So he checked out the Power World update. I did not. I haven't played Power World in a hot minute. This one was, yeah, this travel to Blue Eco platform in 12 or fewer jumps. This might have been one of the only miscellaneous trophies. And then just collect all power cells. Collect all power cells there, 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 there. Collect all the power cells in each area. Very straightforward, very blah, 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 blah. Reach the top of the Forbidden Temple without running out of Blue Eco. That was another miscellaneous. Collect all of the orbs. That was a whole fucking thing. This was a weird miscellaneous. This was a weird miscellaneous. You said, wait, wasn't Matthew the legend who helped you find those gold bolts? Or am I thinking of the wrong person? No, Matthew's definitely helped out a lot in some of the Ratchet and Clank videos. I don't know which specific thing you're talking about, but Matthew's helped a lot in the Ratchet and Clank videos. Collect all power cells, collect all power cells. Story was not super up there. Like, it had less of a story than the Ratchet and Clanks, but it had more of a story than the Crash Bandicoot. So I would probably put it, although I do have Crash Bandicoot higher than the the first two Ratchet and Clank games, so I would go here for as a game. As a platinum, it was very bog standard. The only issue, quote unquote, was getting all of the precursor orbs. But still, just essential, just a collectathon, more or less. I would go here, I think, as a platinum. That's kind of how I'm feeling. Haven't had any S tier platinums yet. We will, we just haven't yet. All right, what's next? Next is two games that have no trophies, so they went to the no trophy jail. Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction and Quest for Booty. Since I didn't have to make a dedicated video about these games like I do for all the other games, which really helps solidify like what the game was about, what the process was like, what the gameplay was like, what the story was like, I don't remember these all that well, because I just did a quick little blip at the beginning of the Crack in Time video. It was like, this is the plot. Tools of Destruction, I remember having some weapons that I was like, this kind of sucks. I think I would go here with it. But now bear in mind, this is off my one singular blind playthrough where I didn't complete everything. I didn't do a lot of the skill points because you didn't need to do the skill points. If I go back later on my personal account and I replay through the game, I might feel differently about it, but that's kind of where I'd put it. Quest for Booty was like almost a nothing burger game. Like, I still enjoyed it better than these, just on the basis that it's a game that I like to play. But story, nothing. You know, it just should have been a DLC for Tools of Destruction. Really should have been. Now, Crack in Time, as a game, will probably get an S tier. I think I like the story better than Up Your Arsenal. Yeah, definitely. as a platinum, I just keep thinking about, where is it?
Who went to the planet to meet with Dr. We're also going to throw
the plank puzzles were a lot of fun. Where did I do my blaster runs out? Here it is. Jack and Daxter roll is funny to do. I love chaining and spamming that move. So fun to play. That was a fun game to play. It felt really good to play.
A Crack in Time, unlike other Ratchet & Clank games, challenging you with side activity. The gore mechanics are simple enough. Destroy enemies and try to save civilians to earn points through waves of increasing difficulty, or increased damage output. 10,000 points? What do I have to do? Get 10,000 points?
This was rough. This is the one thing stopping me from wanting to go back and play that game, like re-platinum that game on my personal account. Is the My Blaster Runs Hot.
I got hit and I also...
What's funny about it is I went back on challenge mode because I think this was the first game to incorporate the challenge mode trophy. That was a little bit frustrating, that part, because Into the Nexus did the same thing where you had to do a complete challenge mode run. Little irritating. Because like I was done before then. I was just blasting through the story for the sake of doing it. But other than that, there was a lot of story trophies, which I really liked. Yeah, these are all story trophies. Upgrade one weapon to level 5. Yeah, you had to complete the game on hard. Collect 1,000,000 bolts. Win the tournaments. This one was... And it's a bronze trophy, too. It's a bronze fucking trophy. You had to collect all the modifications, all the gold bolts, buy all the weapons, but you only had to upgrade one weapon to level 5, and you only had to get 1,000,000 bolts, and we got that almost immediately. You remember when you were 8 thinking Ratchet actually died before he came back to life, and you shut off the PS3 and didn't touch that game for years? You genuinely cried thinking Ratchet died. Dude, that's tragic, Pigwin. I'm so sorry to hear that, buddy. Is my dog still hanging out here? No, she's not. I think I was doing my mic test before this, and she was like, absolutely not. Fuck this noise. And she left. That's why I left the door open for. Yeah, the only frustrating things about this platinum were having to complete a challenge mode playthrough. Like, come on, man. Because I was done well before that. When did I finish? Some of the end game, like Clank gold bolts, were a little bit difficult.
Ooh, buzz blades. Glutton for punishment. That's it. That's there. Do a challenge in the Insomniac Museum once more. With everything done, all that was left to do was speed through a challenge mode run for...
Yeah, I think I had literally nothing to do but go through challenge mode. Like, let's see. Where is Crack in Time?
Buddy? Good damn.
Yeah, this was like the secret boss fight.
Sorry. Okay.
Right?
Sweet. Okay, welcome.
Yeah, I had to do an entire almost 6-hour stream specifically just to... But Bill, it's not that kind of stream. It's not one where I should be yelling. I did an entire 6-hour stream just to blast through challenge mode because they made a trophy to complete a challenge mode run when I had done everything. I had completed everything. That right there is what would keep it... Probably keep it... I'm very conflicted. Like, do I want to put it in at the top of A tier or an S tier? Because other than my Blaster Runs Hot and the dumbass completed challenge mode run, at the time it was my favorite Ratchet & Clank Platinum. Let's go as a game first. As a game... Oh, I put it at the top of S tier. There we go. As a Platinum. What do you guys think? Oh, you don't think my chat is showing up on screen? It was earlier. What happened to it? I think you're right. Hello? Show up on screen now? Chat? Hello? All right, one moment. Let's figure this out. Not showing up? Okay. Don't know what happened there. Now it is. There it is. Thank you, Pigwin. Appreciate you, bud. See you, Matthew. Thanks for popping by. Hadn't seen you in a minute. I do get worried when I don't see certain long-term people in a while. I'm like, oh, I hope they're okay. You know, don't know where they're at, but I don't want to bother them. But I hope they're all right. What do you guys think for Kraken time? Only having the Million Bolt trophy, only having one weapon maxed out, incredible. That was my least favorite thing about platinuming the other Ratchet & Clank games. But my Blaster Runs Hot was not as bad as the Speedy trophy. But damn, it was rough. What is happening on my screen? Okay, it's a showing. I mean, I think it is. Yeah, I'll go S tier for right now. I do need to have one at most enjoyable, which I think we'll get there. Okay, into the... No, I'm sorry. Parappa the Rapper 2, because there was no trophies. Now this is as a game. I would go better than Parappa 1. However, if it was a platinum, it would be in most irritating. 100% it would be an F tier, most irritating. As a game, just playing it through once... Well, now, hold on. Nah, but I wouldn't have had to play it over and over again repeatedly. Oh, Pigwin, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. He said, shit, dude, I might head off in an hour as the Monster Energy is kind of wavering off. But you're not a heavy Monster Energy consumer, but I like to drink it occasionally, especially late night revising sessions. Oh, good luck on your exams, by the way. I know you said you were revising. I'm conflicted because, on the one hand, part of what made this game so irritating was the versus modes and the replaying it over and over and over again to get the different hats. But that's not like the game itself. Like the game itself, I thought was funnier than the original. It was a little bit, cleaner, a little bit of an easier time to play. I don't know. I'm tempted just to put it in F tier out of pure rage or the worst. Because going through the game once was enjoyable, right? Right, but the thing is, I have trophies no plat, and that's where that goes. But like just playing through the game once, just playing the levels the first time through, it was funny. It was enjoyable. So, I don't know. I want to put it here so bad, but I feel like it's not fair. It's not fair. So I think I'm going to put it there. Like there was an actual plot. There was like a villain. It was funnier. I guess I do need to have something in best and worst before the end of this. Okay, into the Nexus. Parappa the Rapper 2 has the best music, best tracks, including Romantic Master Onion song, Training Session song, and the end song. I agree, big one. Songs were good. The songs were really good. If it had a platinum, you best believe it would have been most irritating, worst, whatever you want to say. Unfortunately, I'm being nice. I'm dedicating a trophies but no platinum, section. Into the Nexus. Let's get a reminder of what that was like. Didn't have to do it on hard. Some story trophies. No, you did. Yeah, beat the game on Legend. The Destructipalooza Cups were not that bad. Purchase all weapons. Unlock the vault. That wasn't bad. Collect all gold, but that wasn't bad. This was like, we had to keep an eye on it, but it was not that difficult. 200 rare games that came up naturally during our first playthrough. Complete all Netherverse segments. Again, upgrade one weapon to level 6. You did have to upgrade all of your weapons. Whereas I don't think Crack in Time made you do that. Now, there wasn't as many weapons, but you did have to upgrade them all to level 6. Let me double check Crack in Time and make sure it didn't make you upgrade every single one of your weapons. The Chopmaster Onion song had some crazy lines like, pick you up at 7, I'll take you to heaven, which is crazy. Also, is it me or is Master Onion not aged well? Some could see it as racist. I guess you got to look at who designed the game, right? Like, it was made in Japan, I'm pretty sure. So they're the ones doing that. Upgrade weapon to level 5. No, you didn't have to upgrade all weapons in Crack in Time, but you did have to in Into the Nexus, which I think, other than my challenge mode run, is what made that take longer. The story was just kind of whatever for this one. Not a lot of personal stakes. I think I would go here. I should watch the Parappa anime, Shirley. You're right. I think if I wasn't worried about copyright strikes, I would do a watch-along. As a Platinum, I believe, because I had to upgrade all weapons, I think I'll go there. Okay. Astro's Playroom. I'll tell you right now, probably, I don't know, as a game, I'll go there. And Platinum, it was probably the most enjoyable. Definitely. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. We're coming down to the end. We're getting to the nitty gritty. This stream is not going to be as long as I thought it was going to be, honestly. Let's see. Rift Apart. I kind of regret doing the one stream. It was like 16 and a half hours. I was focused on the wings. I was focused on getting the game done as fast as physically possible. I wasn't giving myself time to go enjoy the collectibles, enjoy the story. I didn't even really fully grasp what the story was, like what was going on, until I was going back through and making the Platinum video. Platinum video was also not very well received numbers-wise, and that made me kind of sad. That kind of dampened my enjoyment. But as a game, as a Platinum, I would go S tier. Probably the top of the Ratchet & Clanks, because it was the most varied Platinum. You didn't have to upgrade every weapon. You didn't have to get every single collectible, so that wasn't at the forefront of my mind. But there was a lot of really interesting miscellaneous trophies, a lot of fun miscellaneous trophies. Pigwin, I swear the creator of Parappa the Rapper confirmed that Katy Cat and Lanny are dating. Not sure if you're wrong. I'm gonna go double. Yeah, please double check that. Let me know. That'd be interesting. As a Platinum, easily the best in the Ratchet & Clank series. Easily. As a game, really fun gameplay. Not as funny as some of the earlier Ratchet & Clanks, but still one of the top ones to play. The question is where we go with it. It's in here. The question is just where. What do you guys think? I want some outside opinions on these Ratchet & Clank games. Remember, this is as a game. Platinum we got over here. What's interesting about that Pigwin is that, like, I mean, Jammer Lanny, yeah, for sure, but like Katy Cat was supposed to be Parappa's love interest, right? As a game, I think I'm happy with this. There were some elements I didn't like the Clank puzzles in this game were great. They were okay in this game, but they were not as creative. They weren't as frustrating. They weren't as creative. The glitch segments did nothing for me. Cared nothing about them. Not as funny, but still having Dr. Nefarious as a villain, obviously, as you can see, is always a great Ratchet & Clank game. Weapons were interesting and varied, but nothing stuck out as like the best I've ever seen. So that's what I think I'm going to do with it. All right, we're coming down to the nitty gritty. The most recently released video as of today, Metal Gear Solid. Hey, speaking of which, how is that doing, by the way? How's Metal Gear Solid doing? God, I hope that's not accurate. I hope that's not updated. Oh, Jesus Christ. If that's accurate, that is not good. That is not good. I see I still haven't escaped this hellhole that I'm in. Oh, I hope that's not an updated number. As a game, the story, really interesting, really, like, incredible. What they were able to do at the time with the voice acting. Oops, sorry, I just dragged my microphone. The voice acting, the complexity of the plot, like, incredible stuff for the time. Like, playing Ape Escape, which came out the year after, felt like such a step down in quality. Some things, like playing it on hard on my first time, and the camera hold it back. So as a gameplay experience / enjoyment, I'm going to go here. Controversial, maybe. Controversial. But that's how I feel. As a platinum, it was really just play the game. The VR challenges and the Fox Codename really drag it down. The Fox Codename was not as bad since you could do the Japanese version. But the 300 VR missions really drag that platinum experience down. It's going to go... I didn't realize how low Crash Bandicoot was in terms of a platinum. It definitely goes above the first one. I don't know. Why did I put this here? Because like there was just kind of like not much to it. I'm going to go do the bandana and the stealth camo. You think the second being a little lower makes sense because of all the VR stuff? I mean, when it boils down to it, Metal Gear 1 and 2 was a much easier platinum. But as a game, like, it's just, like, miles above. I'm gonna go there, I feel like, for right now. That's just like, I don't know. Ape Escape, we've made it to the grand finale. Let's get our Astrobot people over there. Here we are. F you, Spectre. Oh, I just look, I get all the references now. He's eating his little cookies. That's his health in the game, his little cookies. All these monkeys have yellow pants. I feel like some of them should have had differently colored pants. I also feel like one of them should have had like a gun, because that was common. As a game, it started really cute, and then it got like, as it went on, the controls were abysmal, and it started really like grating on me near the end, like between the controls and the difficulty of some things. Like some of the monkeys really fought back at you hard, and it just, I don't know, there was not much of a story to it. The controls were really kind of rough. I think I would go here. The platinum was incredibly easy. I only had to beat the game to get one weapon that you get after you beat the game. But everything else came naturally. Like the Spectre coins, getting 100 monkeys. Getting 100 monkeys comes naturally before you beat the game. Spectre coins, technically, you have to go out of your way for just a little bit, but they weren't that hard. It was very repetitive. I mean, the platinum there just wasn't... I don't know how I'm ranking these platinums. Am I going based on difficulty, based on enjoyment? You know? Like, how am I doing this? It was just very bog standard by the numbers. Like there wasn't, I guess I'm doing it by enjoyment. So I'd probably put it, there wasn't anything fun and miscellaneous, but it was just very easy. I'd probably put it here, I think. I kind of feel like that's how I feel about it. Okay. Now, I do technically need to have the worst, so it's going to be one of these two. I mean, as far as like how I enjoyed them as a game, how I felt about them as a game, I don't know. How do you guys think Platinum should be ranked? Do you think they should be ranked by like the trophy list overall, like how difficult it was, how enjoyable it was, how varied, or should it be like, I don't know. I should have had a clearer idea of what this was going to be going into it, because Jesus Christ. The story was the most interesting thing about this. Everything else was not enjoyable. The story was cool. That was it. That's going to go into the worst. The best, I think it's going to have to be, like as a game, I think it's going to have to be Crack in Time for right now. I think. So this is where we're at. So now that we've done all that, we have our tier lists. Here is the as a game overall tier list. Here is the as a platinum tier list. No D's, no F's. There weren't any other than this one being most irritating. If most irritating wasn't here, this would definitely go into one of these categories. No bad platinums. Like there were frustrating things in all of the Ratchet and Clank games, but the games themselves being enjoyable made up for that. Same with Crash, I think. You figured since you have top as most enjoyable for Plat, you're ranking in terms of enjoyment for Plat. Yeah, that's probably a good point, Shirley. Now let's get into the tier list that was all community voted. All community voted. I wish I could scroll this way so there wasn't a lot of spoilers here. Let's go to, I guess, the channel posts. By the way, this is here. There's a channel community. Everybody can post, do what they want, post questions, post comments. So here's the thing with this. As of now, this is showing Astra's Playroom severely got knocked out by Rift Apart. Let's put on some background music while we're doing this. So right now, Astra's Playroom is being dog-washed by Rift Apart. However, I did say all these votes would be, let's say, I think I wrote it in this thing, active for about 2 days. Everybody was obviously able to vote afterwards because I wasn't able to do anything other than delete the post, which I didn't want to do. At the end of 2 days, Astra's Playroom was winning, and like by a decent margin. So that's what moved on and fought against Ratchet and Clank. Now, had it been the current votes, it would have been Rift Apart versus Ratchet and Clank, and we might have had a very different outcome here, because Ratchet and Clank went on to become a semi-finalist. It would have been Rift Apart versus A Crack in Time if it didn't get beaten out earlier, which I think would have been an interesting fight. Anyways, that was the only thing that was, if you look now, it is not the same as what it was. But Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus versus Metal Gear Solid, that was pretty... I mean, some of these were... That's not as bad as it was when I first checked it, but some of these were like... I don't know why the pictures didn't load on this one. Ape Escape just absolutely crushed Parappa 2. Good. We had one of our... probably our only legitimate early Ratchet elimination, Deadlocked. Not that surprising, seeing it's going against Crash Bandicoot. Metal Gear 1 and 2 versus Ratchet and Clank Crack in Time. I mean, of all of the hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby ass things, although out of 20 votes, 2 people did vote for Metal Gear 1 and 2 over A Crack in Time. Don't know who those people are, but they did do it. Another, you know, coughing baby versus hydrogen bomb. Going Commando versus Quest for Booty. Quest for Booty did get a couple votes, at least 2. Up Your Arsenal, not that surprising that it knocked out Jak and Daxter. I feel like had the pairings been a little bit different, some of these would have been a little bit more of a fight. Tools of Destruction versus MLB The Show. This has no trophies, but as a game, yeah, that's pretty obvious. This one would have been interesting. I was sad to see Asher's Playroom knocked out so early, but I'm curious what it would have been if it was Rift Apart versus Ratchet & Clank. Like it would have been had the vote lasted longer. But not surprising, this has been a huge Ratchet & Clank-centric channel. Not intentionally, it's just how it is. Ratchet & Clank crushed Asher's Playroom. Also not surprising, Into the Nexus crushed Parappa the Rapper. This one I was like, this could be interesting. However, almost overwhelmingly, Ape Escape beat out Marvel vs. Capcom. This one was close. I personally, on my personal account, my shadow account, if you will, voted for Crash Bandicoot just because I wanted to see something other than Ratchet & Clank move on. I'm satisfied by the amount of votes that we were getting on these. A lot of people were voting, and that made me happy to see. Let's see. This one was very close. Crack in Time beat out Going Commando. This one was not a surprise. Up Your Arsenal beat Into the Nexus. Not a surprise. Ape Escape goes up against a Ratchet & Clank game, gets crushed. Crack in Time kind of barely beat out Ratchet & Clank 1 here. This was an obvious. Up Your Arsenal beat Tools of Destruction. And then the finale... Oh, I'm sorry, not the finale yet. Oh, interesting. They're tied now. So when I stopped the voting at the end of 2 days, A Crack in Time was winning. And A Crack in Time won the entire thing. They're now tied. And I don't know... I mean, by the end of the voting period, Crack in Time had won. But that's where we're at. Crack in Time was the winner of the overall bracket. Crack in Time was also the winner of the as a game. And Asher's Playroom definitely had the most enjoyable play. But if anybody new wants to pop in real quick and chit chat for a minute, let's just have a little let's have a little Astrobot in the background. The next time we stream, we will be jumping back into Asher's Player or Astrobot. I really, 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 really hope. I mean, I really hope that the Metal Gear Solid video does okay. The early numbers are kind of scaring me. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I agree, Pigwin. Oh, you said you think Crack in Time is a better end to the... Well, I mean, I think you said... It's a better end to a trilogy, yeah, but... I feel like Up Your Arsenal was the better ending of the PS2 era. I don't know. Play a little Astrobot. Just for a little bit. Give some. If any new people want to pop in, say hello, offer opinions, talk about their favorite games, we'll give them time to do that. And if not, I mean, we've done what we came here to do today. We have ranked all of our games. My voice, like, I'm parched. Did a lot of just talking, just chit-chatting. I feel like typically when I'm playing games, you know, there is some time to just sit back and chill and relax. One thing that I don't love about Astrobot is when you've collected a bot, you can no longer go back into the level and see them again. They're replaced by these coins. I mean, Crack would have been the ending to the whole of Ratchet & Clank franchise. You would have still been satisfied. Yeah, I get what you mean by that. I'm hoping that we see something else after Rift Apart. I would like to see them go and visit. This would have been Psycho Mantis had the bots still been here. I would like to see them visit the Lombax dimension. I really hope the series isn't over. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Yeah, Shirley, the next stream is going to be the next Galaxy. It's just going to hold off until I finish the Ape Escape video. You there. Let go of what would have been Psycho Mantis. The bot that we just finished unlocking. Dude, what's going to take me so long on the damn Ape Escape video is doing the character unlock thing on 11 bots. How many bots do we have unlocked so far? On the character select screen. Are we about to double our progress right now? This shows 23. That game. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 12. So we're almost going to double the bot unlock just from Ape Escape. And you know, it just, playing the game, if anything, it almost felt like the least deserving of the games I played to be like the grand finale. It was a really cool level, like a cameo level in Astrobot, but as a game and as a franchise, I'm kind of confused by its inclusion at the end of the galaxy. Yeah, I really hope it won't be till 2029. I really hope not. Boy, can we sink this thing in there, please? Please? Feels kind of RNG. Giving myself a taste of playing Astrobot for the next galaxy. But what did you guys think? What was your overall, what do you think your favorite games or favorite Platinum experiences were of what we've seen so far? And what are some of the things you're looking forward to most versus least? I did not let go of that. Excuse you. This is such a great game. I'm so happy it won Game of the Year. Whee! Just fully like the Metal Gear Solid world or level. Which now I know makes a lot more sense why it was a snow level, was Metal Gear Solid, because that was in Alaska. Big One said, if I was CEO of PlayStation, it would be Parappa the Rapper 3, Ratchet & Clank Into the Lombax Dimension, Sly Cooper 4, Last of Us Part 3, Uncharted 5, and Ratchet & Clank Trilogy Reimagining. Dude, that sounds like a great time. Let's just run into the Ape Escape level to wrap us up. Yeah, throw in another God of War game and you've got my vote for CEO. And Spider-Man 3. Actually, bring back the canceled Spider-Man DLC. We were supposed to have like a 3-part DLC for Spider-Man 2. What up, Spike? He's like, oh, here, you take this. This is a very cool concept that it just transforms you into the protagonist of the game. But again, like as fun as catching, see, okay, it is the right trigger. And if it had been right trigger in Ape Escape, I think I would have enjoyed it more. But with it being the right stick, it was very frustrating to control sometimes. Like playing this level is so much more enjoyable than playing the actual game. Yeah, this is another thing from the game, like having to collect a certain amount of apes to unlock the progression. It is so much more fun. It's crazy. It's kind of ridiculous how much more fun this is. And I think I did this at the end of the stream too. I just went back and played this level and talked about how much more fun it was. What up, Bozo? It plays so much better, controls so much better. I mean, obviously that's not surprising. 25 whole years of advancements. Spike is the type of motherfucker to drink Red Bull and watch Spike TV. Oh my god, dude, Spike TV. I haven't seen that in a long time. Didn't that channel get shut down? Hang in there, buddy. Channel for edgy and childish men. I love that description of it. Ha! Yeah, Thousand Ways to Die. I think that was the only thing I ever watched on Spike TV. Thousand Ways to Die. It was so overdramatic. Come here. But I think we're going to be wrapped up in here in just a second. And if that is the case, thank you all so much for being here with me. Thank you for being here with me throughout the journey. Pigwin, I know you've been around for a little while now. Shirley, you've obviously been here since the beginning. There's some rabbits frolicking in your backyard. That's adorable. We are going to wrap up here in just a moment. What up, Spectre? You were really kind of overwhelming in your own game, I'm not going to lie. Man, I remember my first Astrobot stream. I was so nervous, like full on, like slightly trembling. Ha! I think we just gotta let him tire himself out. Little guy's gonna get all tuckered out. Come here. There we go. Got him. Look at all my little apes. Yeah, 10 bots. Wait, hold on. 10 here plus Spike is 11. So shouldn't there be 12 total for Ape Escape? Hold on. How many are in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, there's 10. Plus Spike, that would be 11. And then the one from the Astro's Playroom DLC would make 12. But I thought I counted 11. All right, well, if there's actually 12, that is going to double my character unlock then. Gonna take us from 12 to 24. I guess let's just go with them to their little area. Unless, for some reason, the ape that was from Astro's Playroom hangs out in a different area, which I don't see why he would. Okay. 1 in the middle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did I miscount, or did I maybe not count Spectre? Let's go. Let's start with Spike. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I like this one's a Metal Gear Solid one. 11, 12. Okay. Yep. Okay. I think that's going to do it for us. I dropped my controller. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I know the timing wasn't necessarily great for a lot of my international people, but I'm glad, Pigwin, you got to be here. I would have loved to see some more people in the chat, but that's okay. Time zones are a thing. If you haven't already, feel free to check out the Metal Gear Solid video and pray. Please pray for me that it does okay, because I would love to get out of this slump. But until next time, I'm going to be working very, very hard on the Ape Escape video, and then I will see you guys back here in Astrobot. I would try to announce it a few days in advance so we can try to get a schedule and get as many people as possible. I don't know what time is the best time to do it. Maybe like early to mid-afternoon, my time. So it's like the beginning of the evening. I don't know when it's going to be, Pigwin. But like I said earlier, I don't think the Ape Escape video is going to take me longer than a week or a week and a half. I mean, the streams are done. I've almost finished taking my notes. The script will be super easy. There's not a lot to that game. It's mostly going to be clips. Just throwing clips together. Metal Gear Solid, once I really sat down and edited it, I was editing from Friday night to Sunday night the following week, and that was with working in between, and that took me 9 days, and that was a much more involved video. So I would expect it. I have to work all weekend, so I can't use any of that time to edit. I would say hopefully within the next week it'll be out. And then when it is, I will pop on for the Astrobot stream. Probably, it's going to depend on when I finish it because it's based on my work schedule as well. But I would say at or during next weekend will be the Astrobot stream. But until then, you guys have been wonderful as always. Thank you so much. Have a great night.